Hey guys, welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And I'm actually on my way to the gym right now. I'm gonna train some abs. This is on one of the 2 rest days that I have a week. Well, they are rest days because your abs you can basically train every day, such as your calves and even sometimes even your traps. They don't really require as much rest as the rest of your muscles because they're active every day anyway. But I only have half an hour to train because I slept in a little too long. And this gym isn't really open until very late in the weekend. It's a Saturday, as I mentioned. But yeah, I'm basically going to do something similar to the abdominal routine that you guys have seen me do on this channel before. I recently posted a video of my routine. Those are 4 exercises that I like to do, but I usually do 4 exercises, but sometimes they completely differ from what I showed you guys, because you don't want to always do the exact same. Sometimes you gotta change up the order of exercises or just put in a different exercise altogether. And I hope I can film this because I'm alone, so I gotta find some way to film myself doing these exercises. And what I had for breakfast was some simple oatmeal with cinnamon and the limited apple caramel whey flavor from Scientific Nutrition. It's basically a Christmas flavor. It tastes pretty good. And I put some raisins in there and a banana. Some people hate fruit. I love fruit. Not because of the content of the macronutrients, but because of the micronutrients that you can only find enough of in fruit and vegetables, especially vegetables. Anyway guys, as always, I'm talking about something else than I initially did, so I'm gonna work out right now. Alright, so this is a Saturday morning, and usually on a Wednesday or a Tuesday and a Saturday, so 2 days a week, I have a quote-unquote rest day. What that means for me is that I don't train any major body parts, let those rest, and just train the abs, in my case, and do some stretching at the end. So, what you already saw me doing on this channel is 4 ab exercises, and I started out with decline ab crunches, but it was on a different machine than this, a different bench than this. This one is a little more decline, you know, the angle is steeper. And the first set was regular, and this is the last set actually, one of the last sets, and I'm doing this a little different. So it's 5 sets low, keeping the tension there, then 5 sets complete with the stretch at the bottom, don't forget the stretch of the abs, and then 5 at the top, short motion. You can do these variations to spice up your ab workouts. And then it is time for one of my favorite ab exercises, and also one of the hardest for me, the supported knee raises. I really and truly feel this in my lower abs. I know that some people don't think it's possible to separate the lower and upper abs, but you can put different emphasis on them, just like you can put different emphasis on the inner and outer head of the biceps. Anyway, this is a classic ab exercise done by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself in the past, in the 70s and 60s, the golden era. And this is one of the best ab exercises in my opinion that uses weights. You know, I usually don't like to use weights, but this one is a really good one because first of all, there's a full range of motion. When you go up, you stretch your abs, and you can basically go down all the way until you fully contract the abs. And, you know, it's just a very fluent, natural motion because of the cable, because it's a free cable. So I suggest you guys to try this one out. So this is probably the most interesting aspect of this ab routine, doing the vacuums. And I like doing this after doing all the ab exercises to make it as difficult for me as possible. But basically what I'm doing is 3 to 4 sets of sucking in the abs, sucking the abdominal wall in for about 10 to 15 seconds. Now I keep my abs in, I suck in the vacuum for as long as I feel comfortable, and then add a couple of seconds and then let go. So 10 to 15 seconds is usually what is the best option here. But you can do these quite a lot of different ways, but I'm showing you this way, one of the more harder, more difficult ways, because you can do this on your back as well. But this time the gravity is still pushing your stomach down, pulling on your stomach, so it's more difficult to pull it in. So this is what I do for vacuums on my knees, sucking in the stomach inside of the rib cage for 10 to 15 seconds. And that's how you do vacuums. And this one I explained in the previous video as well, but I just think this is important to say again, to repeat. A lot of people try to work the obliques by using a heavy dumbbell to the side and then tilting their body sideways, trying to strengthening the side obliques. Well, in my opinion, that is only going to add mass on unwanted areas of the abdominals. You want to carve in those side oblique muscles for the details, for the striations, and not for the mass. And that's why I like doing these Woodchoppers, which is basically an exercise that you should do light and a lot of volume with to etch in those details. Alrighty guys, just got done working the abs. As you saw, I did some vacuums near the end, showing you how I do that. At least every ab workout, I try to hit 2 to 3 sets of vacuums in there. And the reason why I don't need to do it every day is because I do other classic exercises, such as the dumbbell pull over, which basically is an exercise that doesn't only work your chest and back, but also your abs, and especially strengthening your abdominal wall. And that wall is responsible for pulling in your stomach. So the stronger that gets, the easier it will be to hold your stomach in. And also, the stronger it is, the more tension is on it by default, and the flatter your stomach will always look. So that's why the dumbbell pullover is one of the best BEST exercises you can do if you want a classic golden era physique. Alright guys? And that's why I like doing the dumbbell pullover on chest day and back day. So I'm having 2 abdominal days. On both days I train the vacuum, and on a back day and on a chest day I do the dumbbell pullover, strengthening the abs, and actually also it automatically pulls in your abdominals as well during that exercise. So I do it 4 times a week, and that's enough for me to work the vacuum pose. I'm gonna make a separate video about this because it is quite important. I want as many people as possible to know how to perform the vacuum, so that we will ensure that the next bodybuilding generation is classic, at least able to do the vacuum. And when you're able to do the vacuum, and this is the thing, you don't want to lose that capability. You don't want to. So you will automatically notice that when you're less able to do this technique, that you will change the things you're doing. And for example, when you eat way too much, your stomach is bloated, just try to do the vacuum. If you can't, you ate too much. And if you do that regularly on a consistent basis, your stomach will hold the bloated shape. Is that what you want? Nope. What do we want? A flat stomach. So, these are all subjects that I will include in the vacuum video and the ultimate diet video, because they actually pretty much go together. And I just had a post-workout shake right here. It had 5 grams of creatine in there, 1 gram of milk thistle for the liver to get rid of the toxins in your blood, and 30 grams of whey, 100% whey professional pistachio taste from Cytec. Tastes pretty good. Anyway, I'm heading home now, entering the highway, so you won't be able to hear me anyway. I'll see you in a sec. What's up? Alrighty guys, I just got out of the shower, walked the dog, and I had my post-workout meal already. It was potatoes with Brussels sprouts and 180 grams of white fish and a little bit of coconut oil drizzled on top of it. But now it's a couple of hours later, and I'm gonna show you a typical meal that I have while I'm bulking, lean bulking in this off season. So let's check it out. Alright, so what we have here is some rice, 70 grams, 100 grams of chickpeas, 100 grams of onion and broccoli, and 100 grams of meatballs, vegetarian meatballs, made from soybeans, so they're high in essential amino acids. All essential amino acids are in there. And there's also cashew nuts in there. So the chickpeas, the cashew nuts, and the vegetarian meatballs together will give this meal enough protein. And as a dessert, right after, I'll have some pineapple and strawberries. And the pineapple is very good for digesting the protein that's in here. And I just love, I love fruit, to be honest. I would eat fruit all day if I could. But, pineapple, strawberries, berries, because they don't have a lot of fructose, and pineapple because it has bromelain in there, which is a digestive enzyme for digesting the proteins in there, are some of the fruits that I like to eat quite a lot. Alright guys, it is almost time to go to bed, but I'm still having one last meal that I'm about to show you on Christmas Eve. Because tomorrow it's first Christmas Day, and I'm actually going to work out in the morning. What I just want to tell you guys is don't worry about the food on Christmas Day. You work out almost every day of the year. You diet most of the time. So you deserve to have a few days a year that you can just eat and not worry about anything, because I sure as hell won't worry about the food that I'm going to eat tomorrow night, because while I might try to capture it, I won't be able to capture it, because it will be an immense amount of food. I can promise you that. But my family knows that, so we don't go to a regular restaurant. We go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, because only that is good enough for me when I get a chance to do so. Anyway, let me show you my last meal of the day on Christmas Eve. And, this is my off season, so I'm eating a little more than usual. But let's check it out. Alright, what we have here is actually, a pan in which I cooked my oatmeal, about 100 grams. Oh, it's getting steamy, still warm. And I put in 25 grams of raisins, 100 grams of spinach, which you actually don't really taste, but it does make it more healthy. Some turmeric, which is a very good antioxidant, and it actually gives off a very nice taste, flavor to the dish. And 50 grams of whey apple caramel flavor by Cytec Nutrition to up the protein for the night. And to top it off, we added 30 grams of natural peanut butter on top. And trust me guys, this combination is delicious. I'm about to head to bed, so I'm adding a little more peanut butter than usual. I like having this meal post-workout as well, but then I add about 20 grams of peanut butter. But you know, I want to add a little more fats for the night for a slower absorption of the nutrients. But anyway guys, this was my day today. Did some abs, showed you some foods, and told you how to do the vacuum. But most importantly is that I want you to have a Merry Christmas and don't have a worry in your mind about bodybuilding, diet, or anything like that. Just enjoy yourself with your family and just make the most out of this one day of the year. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for watching, for liking, subscribing, commenting, giving feedback, and of course representing Vintage Genetics by, you already represent this channel by simply watching this video. But I want to especially thank the people who buy something at vintagegenetics.com, and a lot more is coming very soon. Anyway guys, don't forget to stay golden. Don't